All righty. Welcome to the Mindset Mastermind call. I have these calls about 2 times a week. I think, Shannon, I'm going to have these about 3 times a week. Simply because I know that they are doing some good for, majority of you that are tuning in. If it's not personally, but definitely professionally. And as I get this thing started, I want to welcome everybody that is new to the call. My name is Tier Edwards, coming to you live from Indianapolis, Indiana. And I want to share some information with you that has essentially helped me change my situation. And not only information, but things that I've been able to do to help me change my life in a major way. And as you're tuning into this, I ask that you keep an open mind, okay? Because if you jump off of a plane, right, and you don't open up your parachute, what's going to happen? Something's bad going to happen. You're probably not going to live. And if you do live, you got some broken bones and things of that nature. But the point that I'm getting to is that you have to stay open-minded, okay? Because the information I'm going to give you is not going to kill you. Matter of fact, I take that back, David. It is going to kill you. It's going to kill the old you to help you become the new you. In 2022, don't look to just say, hey, new year, new me. No, it should be a new you, then a new year. Okay. And I wanted to touch on a topic that I really that I really resonated with when I had a conversation with my good friend Amber. And I want you to really think about your situation right now. Okay. Where are you currently right now? Not physically, but mentally. Are you where you really want to be? Are you truly happy with the lifestyle that you are having at this current moment? Right? I see, Miss Floyd, lovely hair, by the way. And I see that, excuse me, I gotta trying to keep it professional. You're all good, Floyd. But in regards to this information, it's going to help you understand why we do the things that we do today. Okay. And hair, for example, nails, for example. A lot of the things that you do today is based on what you've been taught, what you've learned. Now, what you learn can come outside of a classroom. Okay. And so I want to touch on the topic of unlearning is important. Now, this is a funny subject because I can get really personal with this. Can I look, my name is T, right? My name is T here. But I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna be your friend though. I'm gonna give you the raw. Can I give you the raw me? Can I give you the real me? Right? I'm giving you permission because I don't know who I have on this call, and I know that I'm recording this, so I'm not sure who's gonna take this and run with it. Okay, and I don't say this to be disrespectful or anything of that nature, but I'm just giving you the realness. Okay, those that get it, those that don't, it is what it is. But getting into it, I think unlearning is a huge thing that we all have to do because we have to understand that we've learned in so many different ways. Okay. And how do we learn our name? Right? How did we learn religion? How do we learn, leadership? How do we learn when it comes to, money? How to use it? How to have it? How to earn it? How to keep it? How do we learn when it comes to family? What's family? Right? We always had that, when I was growing up, we always said, blood is thicker than water. Well, sometimes water is thicker than blood. I ain't got started yet. How do we learn when it comes to choosing the right career for us? How do we learn when it comes to education? How do we learn when it comes to our body, our weight, things of that nature? Well, we learn that, right, David, through repetition. Repetition is the mother of all learning. Like, I remember when I was younger, like, I didn't become aware that my name was Tier until I noticed that nobody else was around me and they were saying my name. And I started to look and say, oh, they're talking to me. Like, if we think about how we learn, it's through constant space of repetition. It's how we operate on a daily basis, the things we do constantly over and over and over and over until when it becomes us. For example, Floyd, I know that people were kind of standoffish when they saw your blue hair. I love it. Why? Because it's an expression of who you are and the true you. But how did you learn to become comfortable with the blue hair? Through seeing yourself repeatedly in your mind with blue hair. Shannon, who taught you how to become a mother? How did you learn how to become a mother? Through daily actions. How did you become a teacher? Well, through daily actions. Constant actions. Now, where do the actions come from? A feeling. Where do the feelings come from? Constant space or constant repetition of thoughts and ideas. Come on, I'm going a little bit in reverse today. Those of you that are into personal development, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you that are not into personal development, I advise and I suggest that you get into some type of personal development program. Why? Because if you don't know yourself, you can't grow yourself. That's why it's important to learn who you are. Like, when I first started getting into personal development, I realized that, I am not my name. I'm really a spirit just in this physical dirt body. Right? We're all spiritual beings. We just live in this physical earth dirt body. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to change anybody's religion or how they believe things, but what I'm saying is the truth. We are all energy. Okay? But I realized that in order for me to learn, I have to do things on a continuous basis. Or I have to have some type of emotional impact. For example, 9/11 is an emotional impact. For some of the mothers that's on this call today, you having your child, you becoming aware that you're birthing a child is a day that you had an emotional impact. Luis, does that make sense? Look, I'm good at reading lips.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Good. And so everything goes to learning. But I want to help you understand what's stopping you from learning how to become your true potential self. Well, the answer is the paradigm. Okay? I want you to learn, but I want you to earn when it comes to awareness. And I think you really earn an awareness based on how much you have repeated the same thoughts, the same feelings, and the same actions that will ultimately give you, Flory, the results. Okay. A paradigm is a multitude of habits that's been passed down from generation to generation. Okay. Now I want to talk about a story real quick. And it's a story that majority of us can all relate to. Now, some of us are in different countries and things of that nature. Some of us have over here in America, we got Thanksgiving, right? If you're African American, every Sunday is Thanksgiving for you. Why? Because after church, everybody go to, Big Mama house, Big Mama got the fried chicken, the collard greens, the sweet potatoes, the cornbread, the Kool-Aid, and, we know what it is, right? Why? Repetition. It's a habit. A paradigm is a habit of things that's been passed down, right? And so with the paradigm can cause you to be stuck. Stuck where? In a prison. Not a physical prison, but a mental one. That prison is called comfort. How many of you are comfortable doing what you're doing right now? Come on, be honest. Be honest now. I'm talking with the crowd, not to it. But we know deep down inside that we can do more. We can do more. We're God's highest form of creation. But because of what we see every single day is what we'll be. Therefore, we will become comfortable. Doing what? The same habits. So back to Sunday dinner, right? Thanksgiving. Big Mama's, getting ready for the turkey. She's prepping, she's putting all the food together. And you realize that Big Mama is putting this big turkey in this, pretty small pan. And then somehow, let's say Shannon, she gets quite curious to know, why don't you get a Big Mama? Why don't you get a bigger pan? Well, baby, it's a tradition. It's a tradition. It's a culture. It's a habit for me. Why is that? Well, because I saw my Big Mama do the same thing. Aha. Okay, well, if your Big Mama did the same thing, who did Big Mama's Big Mama get it from? Well, I don't know. So guess what Big Mama does? She contacts the other Big Mama who happens to still be alive, right? In the African American community, we call Big Mama grandma, okay? Just give you some education on that. Tay know what I'm talking about. But why? Right? Why is Big Mama, telling me to use this small pan? Well, Big Mama asked the other Big Mama, hey, Big Mama, why are you using these small pans to, cook these turkeys? Shannon just asked me why I was using it. Now I'm asking you why you use it. You know what Big Mama's response was? Well, I didn't have any bigger pans at the time. Now, because somebody didn't have enough, they were lacking, and they could only use what was available, and they never changed the habit, they have now passed it down from generation to generation. It takes one curious person to change the paradigm. Key word, curious. Behind that curiosity is a commitment to change. Write that down. There is one person that is curious enough to change the habit, the paradigm. And so you got to remember that your mind is split up into two things. The conscious mind, which is your knowing mind. That is the mind that school, I don't want to say educates, but it entertains. Why? Because if you go to school, you get graded based on what you know. But in life, you get graded upon what you do. Okay? And so, man, this is good. Andy, I'm excited about this. Now, there's a difference between knowing how to do a thing versus doing it. Okay? For example, I can go to my father, who is deceased now. I can tune into his energy. And Laura, I can tune into his energy based upon, one, memories, ideas, conversations, actions. Why? Because I have saw him over and over do certain things as an entrepreneur and the father that I can learn from. That is me knowing. But me doing is taking his habits and making them my own. So Laura, what do? Well, he passed down a residential commercial moving business. And because I saw him doing daily activities in regards to operating his business, connecting with new people, getting outside his comfort zone, and building new connections, servicing people in a great way. I want you to understand the word service is another word for sale. Why is that? Because if I sell you, I'm helping you. Chair, what do you mean by that? Well, if I'm selling you my service, I am helping you get something that you want. I'm doing something that you may not be equipped to do. So I sell you that, hey, I'm the best at what I do. Here's my experience. Here's the track record. Here's my price. Is this what you're willing to pay for? If it's a dire need, I will definitely pay for it. Therefore, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, and I'm going to service you. I learned all of that subconsciously through my father, his actions. And because I've been in business for some years by myself, I then know and understand and are aware how to service people. It is in my subconscious mind, is what I habitually do every single day. Does this make sense? I look at the conscious mind as the originator. Okay? I'll call that the male. It's very dominant. It has the opportunity to accept or reject any idea that it comes across. And so, Floyd, I look at the subconscious mind as the female. Why is that? Because that is actually the creator. That is what I call the incubator. Tia, why do you say the conscious mind is the male and the subconscious mind is a female? Well, the female has no opportunity to reject an idea. But what it can do, it can accept the idea and it can multiply itself through emotion. The subconscious mind is built upon emotion. Anytime a mind conceives an idea as itself, as true, it then gets put into action through the body. Man, y'all have no clue what I'm talking about. And so here's the law that I want to share with you. Law of cause and effect. The man gives a woman an idea. The man gives a woman a seed. Come on now, I'm talking to you. The man gives a woman a seed. What does she do? She multiplies and it makes it a baby. Same thing with the mind. The conscious mind gives the subconscious mind an idea through constant space of repetition. Now the subconscious mind does what? It does all the feeling. It creates a feeling. And now that feeling goes through the body. And the body now takes action based upon that idea, that thought, or picture. Then the body takes action, which creates what? A reaction. And therefore it gives you the result. What is the result? Whatever it is that you're thinking about. Whatever it is that you feel is true. So, keeping on subject. Unlearning. Well, how do we learn? Well, we learn through our environment. The number one environment that we have is our family. Okay. We learned our name through our family. Our family gave us our name. We didn't originate our name. They did. Mom and dad. So why environment? Well, environment is very, very tricky. A lot of people tend to set their goals, their daily activities, habits. And our environment is really just, it's nothing but our looking glass. We realize that our environment is not us because you got to realize that one, what my family does is not what I do. That's not me. I just took upon the things that they have shown me. I've learned from them. Let's say I'm a little, baby, right? I have no ability to accept or reject any idea that my family gives to me from an infant all the way up to about 12 years of age. Why? I have no conscious mind. I'm doing what I'm being told. Not only that, I'm being told to do things on a repeated basis. Hey, pick up your clothes. Hey, stay away from strangers. Hey, go to school, get good grades, get a good paying job. Hey, don't touch that stove, it's hot. If this is making sense, put sense inside the chat. Okay? Because a lot of things that we were taught not just for our good, but based upon what other people knew. So here's what I want you to write down. Do what people do. Say what people say. You will get what people get every single time. You know what I don't like about that saying, though? There's no creativity in it. There's no creativity. There's no excitement. There's no, I put it like this. Now, I grew up in a Catholic school, and man, when I say I used to hate school, I used to hate school. Why? Because it never taught me anything about me. I think that's another reason, Shannon, why I never liked my environment. No offense to my city, but man, it is just boring. Everybody talks about what is there to do in Indianapolis? Nothing at all. You know why they call our city Nap Town? because everybody's sleeping on it. Everybody sleeps on it. There's nothing to do here but go to sleep. There's no excitement. There's no, like, man, I could go and talk about this for days, but I don't feed into negativity. And so I'm all about creativity. And when it comes to your environment, you got to realize that you can't allow your environment to dictate who you're going to be. Just because your dad or mom did something doesn't mean that you have to do. And the reason why I said, you know, if you do what people do, you say what they say, you get what they get every single time, there's a pro and con to it. The con is, if people aren't living the way that you want to live, 9 times out of 10, you're going to live that same way. But if you do what people do and say what they say, and they're experts in that thing, then it will be a pro. And they will make you a pro. But your environment helps form your self-image. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, how you dress, how you think, how you feel, how you talk, how you dress. And right, David, you wouldn't ask your dentist to cut your hair. And when it comes to life, you got to realize, you know, who's really living the way that I want to live. And I realized at a very young age that, you know, I didn't want to live the same way that some of my family members were living. Why? Because their self-image was not helping them. And I think if you want to really create a new lifestyle, you have to change what? You have to change your self-image, right? And when you change your self-image, your performance will change. Now, what's your performance? Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Now, let's go back a little bit. What thoughts? Well, what do you think about every single day? Do you have a goal, or is there a paradigm in control? Meaning it's doing all the thinking for you. We have 60,000 thoughts on a daily basis. But out of those thoughts, out of those 65,000 thoughts, how many of those thoughts are actually coming from you and what you want? Or is it thoughts of your past experiences, old behaviors? Because a lot of the thoughts, a lot of our feelings, a lot of our actions are based upon our past and not our future. You know, because when I'm in business, I never ask, I really don't give too much time or energy towards somebody's past. I would like to know it, but I don't dwell on it. Why is that, Shannon? Well, simply because you are not your past, but you are who you are right now based upon what you do today. But what I'm more concerned about, what I'm more excited about is your future, what you really want to do, what you want to create. What do you want to leave behind? Who are you today that's going to make tomorrow even better? And so you got to learn new things. And the only way that you can learn new things is to be exposed through new things. You got to be exposed to new experiences, new information. Now, these new things are not going to be comfortable. Going to be quite scary. Why? Because you're not used to it. It's unfamiliar. It's uncertain. You don't know how you're going to do it. Well, I put it like this. Well, you didn't know how to finish school. You didn't know how to be a parent. You didn't know how to ride the bike. You didn't know how to use your iPhone when you first got it. You didn't know how to use your Android when you first got it. You didn't know how to drive when you first started driving. Everything that you learned to do was brand new. Guess what? Taking a risk is not brand new. But not taking a risk became a habit for you, which gave you the same results. And so you got to unlearn the old things. Well, what are the old things? Well, let's just say the negative thinking. Let's say unlearn the negative sayings that your family used to say. Hey, how you doing? Oh, fairly middling. What else? You know, what are some old things that weren't serving you? Let's say procrastination. Ooh, that's a big one. I want you to write this down. Procrastination is a thief to opportunity. What's another old thing? Well, hey, money grows on doesn't grow on trees. All rich people going to hell. What? Did you know that you're born rich? You're just short of the money. We're all born rich. We're just short of the money. What's that one saying? Hey, I'm just big bone. I've never met a big bone person in my life. I've just seen some unhealthy people that chose to eat poorly. You got to let go of the things that's not helping you become your best self. You got to unlearn old things that stop you from the new things. For example, you not investing into yourself will keep you in the same financial position that you're in today. Like I always tell people, you can't be skeptical and broke at the same time. Because I realize the more that you know, the more that you know that you don't know a lot or at all. Let me say it again. The more that I know, the more that you know, the more that you know that you don't know everything. So how can you be skeptical? How can you know everything? If you're right about everything on every occasion, why does your banking account, why does your lifestyle, why does your house, why does your body look like it does today? Why do you dress the way that you dress today? Why do you drive the car that you drive today? Choices, decisions, self-image. Your self-image has everything to do with what you do. You got to change your self-image. And then what else you have to do when it comes to your self-image? Well, you got to relearn the new things. You got to make the new things, comfortable. Write this down. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. I sure as hell did. Danny, you got to realize that if you want to grow, you got to have uncomfortable conversations with not just yourself, but people that's around you. You got to realize, man, I'm about to be 29, 30, 41, 42, 50, 63, whatever the age may be. But you got to realize, man, do I really have years? Do I have years of living, or am I just living through these years? And when I say living, I'm talking about just creating new experiences, new feelings. Live in the feeling. Because when you learn new things, you create new experiences and new results. Has your lifestyle changed? Has your income increased? Are you changing the people that's around you? Because the people that's around you will either expand you or they will expire you. Ooh, write that down. David, send me that. The friends or people that's around you right now, they will either expand you or expire you. Because I put it like this. Look at me then. I look just so mad. I remember this day like it was yesterday. We were at the Indianapolis Zoo. I got this long sleeve shirt on, got my man shorts on, got my uncle barbecue barbecuing sandals on. That's an American thing, all the uncles always got their sandals on outside barbecuing. And I don't know why my dad had me and my brother wearing this, but it was excuse my French, it was hot as hell that day. We've been walking around at the zoo and things of that nature, but my self-image was not very confident. My self-image was very shy. My self-image was very introverted. I didn't like being around a lot of people. Wow, because my mom, my dad didn't really, well, my mom didn't, because I spent, I lived with my mom majority of my life. Not only that, my grandfather, my grandmother, they didn't really, speak to many people or, have a lot of people around. So I just stuck with my family. And not saying that they did anything wrong, but they could only share with me or show me how to do things the way that they knew how to do it. But what I had to learn was that wasn't the only way that I had to live. And so I got exposed to new things, new information. I started to get older and experience things on my own and realize that I can create my own truth. I can create my own truth. Look, write this down, people. If 100 million people believe that the lie is a truth, that doesn't mean that it's your truth. That's their truth, not yours. Your truth is what you create. I'm not going to get into politics because I'm not a politician. But you got to realize that you create your own truth. You got to create your own beliefs. You got to create your own habits that's going to help you live the way that you want to live, to where you can help your family live prosperously in the future. And so I had to unlearn the things that my mom, my dad, and grandmother and the environment was teaching me, so that way I can become a new me. Because my old self-image wouldn't allow me to jump on stage, talk to hundreds of people, travel across the globe. It wouldn't. It would talk, excuse my French, it would talk so much shit to me. What are you doing? You retarded. You know you can't read, you can't talk. Look at all these people. They're thinking about your head. They're going to talk about your head. Look at your head. You just big for no reason. What's the whole point of your muscles? Man, my paradigm would talk so crazy to me. But then again, I had to realize, you know what? I got to talk crazy to my paradigm too. Sometimes you got to tell your old self, hey, sit the hell out. Sit the hell down. You know how your parents, look at you when they mad because you did something bad? Go sit your ass down. That's what you got to do when it comes to your paradigm. Either your goal is in control or your paradigm is. And so because I learned that, it allowed me to do what? Create new experiences. Now I'm traveling across the globe, doing things that my family have only imagined of doing. Traveling to Dubai. Man, if you would have asked me 5-10 years ago, where's Dubai? I'm like, I don't know. Somewhere near Iraq or something. I don't know, Iran. Right? And so let go of the old you so you can grow into the new you. You got to let go of your old self-image to create a new self-image. You got to let go of old habits to create new habits. You got to let go of the old places so that way you can meet the new faces. And I did this on purpose because new faces will take you to new places. How do you think I have a business all across the globe? Because I met new faces thanks to what? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Social media has made my life so much easier to meet new people, to create new experiences. Old decisions can't give you new experiences. Only new decisions can. Unlearning the old feelings, letting go of the old feelings will help you create a new lifestyle. Why? Because so many of you are I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of you are so in tune with your senses that you're just senseless. I don't think y'all know this, but in order for you to create a new lifestyle, you got to create a new image. But if you're in the image of seeing the same old broke, busted, and disgusted places like, excuse my French, Indianapolis, not trying to talk bad about Belfast, but Belfast, Pennsylvania, wherever you are, and maybe you don't like where you're at right now, but you want to go somewhere better. When was the last time you went on a trip outside of your state, your city, your country? Well, the vaccine and all that, I don't want to hear it. I just went to Dubai. I didn't have to get a vaccine. I had to take some tests that were very uncomfortable, but guess what? That was it. My health is still in 100%. And I have a new experience, a new lifestyle. I have a new awareness. Why? Because I have learned new cultures. Man, going to Dubai was a culture shock. A culture shock. To see how luxurious and how wealthy it is there. And then to come back to the US and be like, what the hell am I doing? Because when you see better, you want to do better. Not only when you see better and experience better, you never want to go back to normal. How many of you have flown first class or business class? You see, what I didn't ask you if you rode economy. Everybody rides economy. That's normal. But what's not normal is riding first class, riding in business. Why? Because you were taught not to spend a lot of money. You were taught to be cheap. That's what you were taught. Until you unlearned to be cheap and invest into what you value. Write that down. Invest into what you value. Because in my old environment, everybody was talking about, hey, buy these J's, buy these Jordans. Let's buy these snapbacks. Let's get these tattoos. I still got the tattoos. Why? Because they're an expression of me and I value my art. I value the message behind them. Well, all lessons are repeated until learned. And what I did was I learned to get in a new environment. I learned to surround myself around people that were winning. You know what's great about unlearning? Is that you get to learn the new you. You get to learn the new you. But the best way for you to learn the new you got to be around your future potential self. FPS, future potential self. That's what a mentor is. You got to have a mentor. As it says in the Bible, you got to seek counsel. You have to have multitude of counsel in multiple areas. Why mentorship? Because mentoring allows people to learn from one another. That's why I'm a firm believer in investing into a mentor and not investing into university. That's my opinion. Hey, you don't have to take it. You don't have to accept it. But I'm talking from my own experiences. Why? Because mentors provide a path for you to actually follow. Versus, and the proof is in the printout, I would rather learn how to build a business from a business expert that has produced hundreds of millions of dollars in business versus a business professor. Does that make sense? Why? Because a business professor gets paid based upon information, not application. And I found two great mentors. I found one by the name of Mr. Darren Gibson. I met him when I was 22 years of age. Darren was making some great money, living a great lifestyle. He was traveling all across the globe, and I was quite curious to know what he was doing. And he shared with me a platform that would allow me to multiply. Let's just say this. He allowed me to learn how to develop multiple streams of income where I could turn my, let's say my monthly income into a weekly income. What did he do? He gave me a path. Not only did he give me a path, but he gave me a vehicle in which I could create a new lifestyle. Because you need a new life, you need a new vehicle to get you where you want to go. But you got to have the right people in that vehicle. You got to have people in the car that has been where you want to go. So that way, if you get lost, you know exactly how to get there. Why? Because a mentor will never tell you to go back to the place that you started from. They will guide you based upon where you are. And so you unlearn the unsuccessful things and you relearn the new things. For example, in the workplace, someone established in their career can share knowledge and insight as an offer of guidance to someone with less experience. Me, I didn't have any business experience. Matter of fact, I had been in business and I was failing dramatically. But I found successors. And they showed me how to succeed. And so what I advise you today, start to unlearn the things that are not productive that's holding you back from doing what you really want to do. Because you can win if you decide to. I made the decision. You have to make a decision as well. And so if this call brought some value to you tonight, and I would love to know what you learned from it. I would love to know, how this is impact your night, and your life. You can follow me on Instagram or on Facebook. Message me and let me know what you learned, what you take from this. And more importantly, share this with people. I will be posting this on YouTube, so you can share it or replay it and, get a better understanding of what you can do to unlearn the things of your past, so that way you can create a better future. Because I want you to realize that your past is not your future. But what you do today can affect your future. There's a saying that I always say that, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery. So all you have to do is create it today. Focus on today, and your tomorrow will get better. So I hope I brought some value to you guys tonight. And what I would say